Welcome today. Today we have an important and interesting tutorial to look in. That is how can we test lap with CSS, which is how can we lap test around an image with CSS. Like before, we can do one or two things with HTML, but so many of them like align has been removed from HTML. Now in HTML5 you won't see that property align. So many people has been confused. How can they now lap test around an image? But I think it is easy. We can use that with CSS. We can do that with CSS, and also that doesn't take much. But also we are going to do this externally, which is we are going to link our CSS file externally. So the what we are going to use to do this is called test lab. How can we work with that test lab? Then we need that our CSS file that we are going to link externally to move inside the head tag. So let's first create our CSS file externally. So we have our new file. Let's call it style.css. Now let's move to our HTML page and pull down the structure. Okay, we have our structure. Let's have maybe our title. Our title is just like let's say Tesla using CSS. Now let's link our CSS now is now external. Let's link it within the HTML file so that anything that works on anything that we do on CSS will be rendered on the HTML. So we go to our HTML. Now, once we are there, we now talk about we want to link. So we use link tag and we run it using uh, our style sheet, and what type of style sheet is that? The type of style sheet is text.css. Then now let's link the main CSS file we are talking about. So we select, we can have more than one CSS file, one rendering one thing, the other rendering different thing. So we have one now. Let's select our style.css. So I think that's done. Anything you do on this CSS file now will now affect your HTML. So I think we have linked it. You do that in the head. Okay, then we come to our body. Now let's I already have the test. I already have the test in which I want the test to lap around some images. So let's paste the test. So look at the informations I have. So this information I have, oh, we have it here. So let's see how it is. So we can see the informations I have, just a test. Okay, so what are we going to do? So let's now include the image we want to use. Maybe let's use paragraph for this, so that let's close our paragraph. You can also put it in paragraph 16 if you need, then format your text, but we are not here to format text. We just want to work on text lab. Okay, so since we have this, let's let's now attach our image, which is on top of our paragraph. So we know our image tag img, and we source it, sourcing the image through the image folder. Know that already you must first include that image in image folder in your working area. So then we source the image, then we'll have this. So let me pick the image. I'll pick the first of the image. Then now, what do I need to work on this image? What will happen? I want to test lab, so I will use a class. The class now I'm going to use is now test lab. So this is what I have. If you like, you can use an auth for the image, or maybe okay. Now I have added one image. Let's view it. Let's see. Okay, now this is the image I added. You can see how the image just working itself. So you can see. So how can we make our how can we test wrap now? So we have to come to our CSS property. Well, let's say we want to move this thing at the right. We want to move it at the right, or we want to keep it at the left. Then okay. So anyone. So let's see. So you say dot. You know, as if you use div make use of hash, or y class we make use of dot. So we have dot test lab. Make sure you get the spelling. Yeah, you are using capital, you make sure you use capital. So let's say maybe let's call that, because we have two images, one to test lab. Let's call this test lab 1, and so we are working on test lab 1 now. So So in CSS, we make use of, or within our code, we make use of curly bracket. So now we can now use a property float. Let's float it left. So, or we float it left. So then let's save this and watch what really happened. Then, but assume you, if you float this right, what do you think that will happen? Let's see. Let's see if we float this left, or let's make sure we save it all so that it can take the values. So let's view it. So you can see if you float it the left, you can see the text is now moving around the image. The text is now moving around the image. So you can see how it is working now. So now there's a little issue here. The issue here is that you can see the text is very near the image. So we can try to shift this side so that the image will move right. We can also try to shift this one down a little bit depending on what we need. So in all this property, we can use margin to work on this. Under margin, uh, we have the margin top, bottom, left, and right. So depending on what we need, like if we talk about our margin top now, and we now put, like, let's say 40 PS, 40 peso. So what we are going to have will be, you can see at the top it moves down a bit. So the more you increase your peso, let's say maybe I increase my peso to 200, I'll have this. And and in this, if you have some paragraphing at some top, like maybe assume I have some, but I will still remove it. Assume I have some, so assume I have it. Assume I have my paragraphs here into two. So it will just do as if it will, because it is, why then this happens is because this lies on the, so you watch it happen because this image lies on the first, this image now lies on the first paragraph. So the image will try to go up. So the text that is lapping, actually around the image is this one. So that is why this image moved up. So but before, it was the whole text that was lapping. So you know, make sure you know what you are really doing, and the text actually that you want to lap. Other ones will do as if they are lapping, but actually that is the main text, depends on the paragraphs. Okay, so we can lap that, we can lap images paragraph by then paragraph, then use margin to pull it down or up a little bit. Okay, so if we go back as we are before, let's save this. If we go back as we are before, so we have this happening. So you can see it's like our margin are much. So margin, you don't have to use margin much because it's not much advisable. You know the type of margin you are using, rather there are the other properties you can use to make such. So you are seeing how margin top works. So if we look at that margin, right, so that to make maybe we give it 40 peso. So let's see what will happen at the margin. You can see the space here. The text now shift at the right. So now that is what really happens here. The more you reduce, it, the more it will also then reduce. So you can see the more you reduce it, the more the space we reduce. If we increase the space more, let's say we increase the space again to 50, then you can see the space will increase. So you can see, so that's actually what it happens. So I think we just need small margins here. We can also margin bottom, but I will show you something later. We can also margin bottom, let's say 20 peso. So let's see what will happen. You can see the bottom is now going down. Okay, in all these things, can we do all margins at the same time? Maybe you want to use two or more margins. Can you do it? Like imagine now, if you have, okay, what if I use only margin? What really happens? Let's see. If I use only margin, maybe I merge 40 pixel. This thing means that I will get a margin of 40 at the top, 40 at the right, 40 at the bottom, and 40 at the left. So that is what this thing happens. You can see. So what happens is that I have a margin around the image. So you can use this to beautify your image. Then what if you don't want the margins to be the same? You want to give them different margins. So how can we do that? So I think it's still simple. After put so assume I want to make the margin for all of them, but on a single line. What happens is that here will be top, here will be right, then here will be bottom, and I will have my left. So that is what we are going to have. So how can we do this? So let's see. So you are going to just say, maybe I want to give my top just 5 px, then I want to give my right 10 px, I want to give my bottom, let's say 10 px, and in my left 15 px. So these are different pixels given to those. So now you can see. So all of them have then different margins also. So that is how you can That is how you can give your own margin to all those things on your own. So then you can see them. So they have different margins. Okay, now so we have this. Let's add the second image. So adding the second image on our HTML. Let's say so we have image. We have to source our image. Then go to image folder and select the image. So the image, maybe we need this image. So now let's apply a class, and let's call this class test lab 2. So if you want to give it an alt image so that it will show fine. Okay, so now this is what we have. If you view it now, look at what we are having. You have second image being under the first image. So how can you work on this to make it more beautiful, to text wrap it with all the messages you are having? You go back to your CSS and now have the dot text lab 2. Under the dot text lab 2, you open your blazes and now float. Let's float this one right. Then so okay, let's see what happens just applying a float right. So you can see what you have now. So you can see you are beautiful. You can see how the text wraps around it. So the text now that wraps around it depends on the height of the image. So assume you have it depends on the height of the image here. Assume you have some boundaries. Assume you have some boundaries in paragraphs. We have paragraphs. The text that will wrap around will depends on paragraphs. So it will we have so many of those paragraphs. Okay, we already have one here, then one the other. So it all then depends on the image. So then you can see how they are moving around it. So because you float then this one, right? Okay, now and the image is on top of the other one. So assume we have something like this. So let's see what I'm trying to show you. If we have a new paragraph, starting this one, and we have this our image, we have this our second image here. So having, you can see how the test is coming down. You can see how the test is coming down. So you can also try to, you can say that you want to margin your top more. You can say that you want to margin your top, or let's say 100 pa. So you can see how it is not arranging itself. So that's many ways you can work on test lapping. That's ways you can work on the test lapping. You can also choose to expand your paragraphs. Then depends on what you are working on. So So if we do this, you can see how the test wrap around this, and we're having a starting point of the other one. We can also choose to remove much of the margins and reduce it margin top to 10. Then we have this. So now it is now for you to start formatting your test labs around the image. Then we have this. So then also you can use clear function at your maybe image proceeding the next image, so that if there is any white space, it will clear it off. So, and your image float left by right, you have to clear some that is at the left, because it is floating from the left to the right, so it may leave a space, so you have to clear the spaces. So it's advisable when you have a such then float those images at the end, you can clear it. Okay, so if there is any, because some browser may render then the space of that float. So you can see how you can see now how the images wrap around the text. Even if we choose to add a third test lab, maybe we choose to add a third test lab. So let's bring about let's image. Let's first work on, we source our image. So the third class, let's say test laterally. Yeah. Okay, so we have a third image being added. So this is what we have. You can see. So it all depends on the, if you want to float it, it all depends on the size of the image also. The shorter the image, the more the width, yeah, the more the text lapping will be. So if we work on the third one, text lap 3. Hope that's what we use. On the HTML, text lap 3. So then let's, if we float it by the left, or let's see what we are going, you can see now we have this. So you can see, you'll be wondering how do they work on this on some website, some blogs. So it's just the wonderful property in HTML5 that did the magic. You can see how things float. You can try to work on your margins. You can work on your margins. You can give a top 10 px. You can give your right, let's say 10 px. I can give my bottom 5 px. Then give my, let's say 8 px. So I think I'm good to go. So you can see the margins given. So this is what I have. So I think it's crazy beautiful. So you can do much of text lapping, and you have a wonderful nice blog. And the beauty of it is that so many of all these are rendered in your browsers in very much way, because this is HTML5. So then any other thing, just ask your question in the reply button, and I will have the time to answer you. Thank you so much. And maybe you can also clear, you are floating right, you are floating left, so there may be space at the right. You can also clear right if you need. Nothing much. You may not notice what cleared, but in some browser that will render those spaces, then those spaces won't be there again. It will be cleared. So thank you so much, and God bless you.